on TechBiz Insight.
Dia mainnya tekan ya.
Ini mau mainnya sobeli de odo mumi mainnya. Mumi mainnya. Is as nice as the name implies.
Mumi mayonnaise bi fan ko mëna amé.
Mumi mayonnaise bu es wacc ci biir rew. Mayonnaise bi set na, sell na, te neex na. Bitigi mag ci biir rew mi yépp taamu nañ mumi mayonnaise.
Ah?
Waaw.
Dafa am na kuy ñëw.
Biomass briquettes are a form of charcoal made from agricultural waste and are a replacement for fossil fuels such as oil and coal, and can be used to heat boilers in manufacturing plants, and also have applications in developing countries such as the Gambia, as it can be used for domestic purpose such as a substitute for coal and firewood, and of course, it would also help save the limited trees we have and prevent deforestation.
Our Aidaba visited a Gambian briquetting factory which recycles grounded shells into briquettes.
Hello viewers, welcome to today's edition of Gambian Made with me, Aidaba, right here on TechBiz Insight. And today I'm right here at Green Tech, where we bring you a grounded cell is made best use of with Tony Tabal. Good morning to you, Tony.
I'm Anthony Tabal, 44-year-old Gambian, founder of Green Tech Company Limited. And Green Tech is the pioneer of briquetting in an industrial scale in this region. So what we do basically is we take the ground shells and create value on it, recycle it into household energy to replace firewood, or actually to limit the use of firewood and charcoal.
How did you come about with this idea to initiate, like you said, the pioneer of briquettes in this country?
Well, it was a few things that were happening around the same time. First of all, GGC has done tests before in the 80s of briquetting ground shells, financed by Danida, and I got a hold of their study. But it was more like one of those things that you say a lot of people would see a lot of things around, but they would not think further of it. A few years ago, well, during this time that the peanuts were burning, the shells in Banjul, there was an issue when the shells were being burnt. There was someone that burnt them by mistake or something like that. It was around the same time I was having difficulty sometimes getting charcoal for my restaurant, Green Mamba. So putting those two together, when I passed to Banjul a few times and saw the smoke, it was on the media. Then I thought, I think a lot of people saw it, but not many people thought about it. I just thought about it, that there must be something else you can do with the shells instead of just being burnt like that or wasted. And of course, there was a lot of heat, and it burned for days. All those things put together gave me an idea that I might want to look into the old study that they had before regarding peanut shells into briquettes to use for cooking instead of charcoal or firewood, because our region is getting it's getting more and more difficult to get firewood and charcoal. That's where the idea came from. I started pressing actually 2 years ago when the machine arrived. It was July 2011. Of course, being also something new, it took a lot of time to even get accepted. It's still not accepted yet in a big scale. People still don't know it, they don't really trust it. And changing mindset of a habit for hundreds of years is not easy. But it's a product that you need for the future anyway. So I thought, I'll do it now and just keep pressing for my own use. Some friends going to seminars, showing people how it's done. It's one of those really important and vital environmental solutions for this area anyway, because our biggest problem is the Sahel, the desert. We need to do everything we can to protect the trees, the forests that are left here now. Without them, you get drought. It's all direct connected to rainfall. Huh? Of course, the CO2 emissions from trucks and the trees, you need the trees to recycle our atmosphere. They produce the oxygen for us. For Green Tech, the slogan is really no trees, no life. This is what we always used, and we've always, poverty is an environment. If you say environment in my books, it doesn't only mean green trees or clean, it means everything else, also healthy for children to be brought up in. Farming cannot go well without enough trees, because then you get droughts. So it's no trees, no life is my logo really, my motto that I go around with.
You started this briquette business since 2011. How would you assess your operation in this country?
It hasn't really kicked off to the point that I can be proud about it. What we've done so far is we've laid the foundation of this kind of technology here. It's cost us a lot of time, investment, work, volunteering. We are on the losses every year for now. But this is quite understood. I think everything new that you bring up somewhere, if you come at an earlier time than it's supposed to be, we'll probably need briquettes in 10 years' time, a lot more than we do now. But I'd rather have it available now so that we won't have to cut any more trees.
Tony, like you said, you use granite salts. This is your raw material you use for the production of these briquettes. But where do you get them from?
The granite cells I pick up from different places. Right now I'm collecting them from the Indian factory in Canifing. Something oil mills. I take all their waste. When they peel, they can dump it. I collect it in my trucks. Other times I collect from Banjul, where Gambia Ground Corporation is dumping at the dump site. So I basically just collect them from wherever they're available at this moment. There's no special contract with anybody. Nothing. Just ground shells. We don't add any binding material. We don't add any chemicals. We don't add anything. It has to be a bit humid. And normally Gambia is a humid country. So naturally, the humidity level is quite good here. So you don't have to add much. But in case it was too dry, you have to add a bit of water, sprinkle a bit of water. But apart from that, we don't add anything else. It's heat and pressure.
What are some of the equipment you use to produce these briquettes?
Right, from the manpower, the women that are packing the shells for me. You've got the trucks to go and collect them. You have a briquetting machine from Denmark, only one, because it's quite expensive, so I can only afford one. We don't have distribution network yet, so we use our own cars to distribute 1 or 2 bags here and there. But we're working on that now to start distributing towards Tangi, Sanyang area for the smokeries. So we need basically the manpower, a couple of vehicles, the machine, of course wheelbarrows, the usual stuff you have in a small plant. The market is there because everybody has to cook. So I believe at this point it seems like there's still firewood and charcoal, enough of it. But there'll be a time that there'll be a lot less, and that's when the briquettes will pick up. I'm not going against any dealers of firewood or charcoal. Everybody has a right to have a living. All I'm saying to people is we need to slightly limit it because the rate is quite fast. And if you have something else that some people might choose to use, if they're more environmentally aware, it's good. Competition is healthy for an environment. So people have asked me about the charcoal dealers, firewood dealers they're not happy with. But at the end of the day, it's our country. I don't care what they think. The country becomes desert, we are the ones that suffer. Our kids will suffer. Now, the only reason is I'll try to get it as cheap as possible so that they can compete. If they can make a profit margin that's similar